Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 10 most profitable bosses in RuneScape 3. So before I start the video, I do want to say that most of these GP per hours that I am going to be mentioning, they are going to be estimates and they're mostly going to be on the high side. So if you are maximizing this method, I was able to talk to a lot of people and see what they got to actually figure out what I would put as an estimate for the GP per hours for these 10 bosses. But anyway guys, if you guys do enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button and definitely subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content. And anyway guys, let's get on with it. Starting at number 10, we have Vindicta at 8 mil per hour. And so actually to get to 8 mil per hour, you will need to kill about 30 to 40 Vindictas per hour. And that is because you make around 200 to 250k every kill. And that is with the 100% reputation. So right now the Crest of Zeros is about 25 mil and the Dragon Rider Lance is at 29 mil. So these two rare drops really do tie into this 8 mil per hour. It accounts for about half of that, so you should expect to get Dragon Rider Lances every once in a while, especially with the 100% reputation. And the nice part about Vindicta is that it isn't too difficult to kill, just a slight learning curve when you are just starting, but compared to the other bosses on this list, Vindicta is pretty easy. Moving on to number 9, we have Barrow's Rise of the Six. For this boss, you need to have 1 to 4 players fighting with you, and you can actually make up to 8.5 mil per hour. Rise of the Six is a fairly high level boss, and to get this 8 mil per hour, you will need to loot 15 chests per hour. This boss can be really fun to do, especially with friends. It's some pretty good GP per hour, and much easier with friends. So this is a pretty solid boss to actually do at number 9 on this list. Next is Gregorovic at number 8, and you can make 9 mil per hour while killing Greg. So like Vindicta, Greg is another God Wars 2 boss, but Greg has some other rare drops that Vindicta does not have, which boosts its GP per hour. You can get the offhand and the on-hand Shadow Glaives. These are 6.8 mil each. It also drops the Sliskian Essence, which is 8.4 mil. And then it does drop the Crest of Slisky for 8 mil. So it has 4 different rare drops that are each pretty profitable, right around 6 to 8 mil each. And in order to actually get this 9 mil per hour, you must be able to kill 30 to 40 Gregs per hour to actually achieve this. And Greg could be a pretty tough boss to kill, especially in solo. He does hit pretty hard, so I would definitely advise looking at a guide before you do try to kill him. Also, you must have a prayer level of 80 or higher to face Gregorovic, and in order to get the 9 mil per hour, you must have the 100% reputation. Also, ranged is usually the preferred combat style when fighting Greg. Moving on to number 7, we have Nex at 9 mil per hour. Nex is a God Wars 1 boss, but she is really fun to kill. She can be soloed fairly easily. There isn't too much of a learning curve on her, but she does have some really great drops. So she has a lot of rare drops, and you should average about a rare drop every 21 kills, which means each kill is worth about 740k in uniques alone. Nex's common and uncommon drops aren't too bad either, ranging from about 10k for some Torsal Seeds, so that would be the lowest, and up to 3 mil for Onyx Bolts. Overall, this boss is a pretty great boss to kill. It really isn't too difficult to actually beat, and making about 9 mil per hour is really great for any boss, which gives Nex the 7th spot on this list. Moving on to number 6, we have the Magister at 11 mil per hour. The Magister has a really high requirement in level 115 Slayer, although it can be boosted, but it must be maintained throughout the entire fight. Also, you must use a key to the crossing just to fight the Magister, and these keys actually cost around 360k each. The Magister is a really interesting boss to kill. It is one of the more easier high-level bosses to kill, as you can kill about 35 of them per hour. But it is interesting because you only start making money if you make the Kopesh of Tumakin, which you should probably only make one every about 30 hours of killing the Magister. This tier 92 weapon is worth almost 300 million, and this weapon is created by blessing a Kopesh of the Caridian with the blessing of the sea, the blessing of the sky, and the blessing of the sand. Also, level 92 crafting is required to do this. So essentially, the Magister is only good money if you are planning to kill him for a long period of time, so at least around 30 hours just to make one of the tier 92 Kopesh weapons. Moving on to number 5 is one of my favorite bosses, and that is Araxor. So you can make up to 14 mil per hour while killing Araxor, but this is for 10 kills per hour, so you need to be pretty elite if you are going to manage to get 10 kills per hour. An average player like me should expect to get around 6 kills per hour, which would drop the total profit down to about 8 mil. But if you are maximizing and you're pushing to improve your times, you can definitely get 10 kills per hour, which is 14 mil. So again, kind of like the Magister, Araxor is a boss that you will start making money the longer you are killing it. That is because you need to make the Noxious weaponry to actually make profit with this boss. Currently, the Noxious longbow is 132 mil, the scythe is 156 mil, and the staff is 137 mil. So in order to make one of these 3 weapons, you will need a spider leg, and the spider leg is broken up into the 3 parts, a spider leg top, middle, and bottom. So Araxor does have 3 different paths that you can go through, each path corresponding to one of the 3 spider leg pieces. You have a 1 in 40 chance of getting one of these spider leg pieces, meaning that you will need to learn each path fairly well in order to get all 3 pieces that makes up the spider leg. Overall, it should take around 12 to 24 hours to actually obtain all 3 pieces for the spider leg. So this boss does require a little bit of grind before you actually do make a lot of profit. Moving on to number 4, we have Vorago. Vorago is a really tough boss to kill. Vorago must be fought in teams. And as you can see here on screen, the 4-man, you should be able to get around 12 mil per hour. Trio is 18 mil per hour, and then duo is 26 mil per hour. And this is if your team is full of experts and you all actually know what you're doing. Vorago is a pretty tough boss to learn. There are a lot of roles to figure out, but the boss is really rewarding with some really great drops. So every time you kill Vorago, it automatically drops 2 tectonic energy, which is worth about 2 mil. And then the common drops are pretty great as well. It also has a few rare drops, the Seismic Wand and the Seismic Singularity, which is 67 mil and 153 mil. Now the chances of getting one of these items is actually pretty good. It is only 1 in 40, which is what makes the GP per hour so high. And with a pretty solid team of 4 players, you should be able to get 4 to 5 Vorago kills per hour. Moving on to number 3, we have Solak. Solak is one of the toughest group bosses in the game, and you can make up to 30 mil per hour killing him. Solak's drops include the tier 92 dual wield Blightbound crossbows, Aerithor's grimoire, and he also drops the Cinderbane gloves. So the dual wield crossbows are worth 800 mil each, the grimoire is about 70 mil, and then the Cinderbane gloves are about 38-40 mil. Although this boss is one of the best in GP per hour, it is also one of the toughest. It is definitely one of the hardest group bosses to learn in the game, if not the hardest. But if you are able to kill this boss, it is very rewarding. Moving on to another group boss, we have the Nex Angel of Death, which takes the number 2 spot. Killing the Nex Angel of Death can net you up to 36 mil per hour, and this is with a 7-man team. The Angel of Death has multiple insane drops that will just make you bank. So if you are lucky enough to get one of these drops, it will make you very rich very fast, which is what puts Nex AOD up to 36 mil per hour. And like Solak, Nex Angel of Death is another pretty difficult group boss to learn, although I would say it is a little bit easier than Solak, and it also is a little bit more rewarding. Now moving on to the top spot, the most profitable boss in RuneScape 3 is Telos. Telos is a solo boss that is located in the God Wars 2 dungeon, and it was pretty difficult to put a price on Telos for the GP per hour, but here are my estimates. So at the 0 to 500% in rage, I have 20 mil per hour, and then at the 500 to 1000 plus percent in rage, it is up to 40 mil per hour. 40 mil plus, you could definitely get more if you are that good at Telos, which is why Telos gets the number 1 spot on this list. Telos is a really complex boss to learn. It will take a while to actually learn. Me, myself, I haven't learned how to actually kill Telos yet, but I am planning on doing so. It is definitely the best boss to kill for GP, especially if you get really good at it. Some people who can push 3,000-4,000 plus in rage, they just make bank. The drop rates on the tier 92 weapons become so low, and the same goes for the anima orbs and all the other rare drops. So although Telos can be the most profitable boss in RuneScape, it can also be not that great if you do not know how to kill him. He is only up here if you actually are consistent with your kills, you know how to do it, and you can actually kill him with high in rage. But if you are someone who is looking into getting into a boss to make bank, then Telos would definitely be it. It will cost a lot in deaths just to learn how to do this boss, but it will definitely pay off. This boss is amazing for GP per hour once you do learn it. And this really is the most profitable boss in RuneScape 3. Anyway guys, I really hope you did enjoy this video, and hit that thumbs up button if you did enjoy. Also, if you guys have any opinions that differ from mine, feel free to comment them down below. I'd love to see what you guys think. Anyway guys, subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.